It looks wild, though.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
What is going on?
Rev and Nikkit here, big time now, so they wanted to make a grand entrance a little later.
They're busy, you know? You forget, running 2 channels, you know, and then whatever they got going on with church and school and kids.
Teacher, pastor, kid.
Yep.
You know.
So we appreciate them taking some time out of their Friday to be with us whenever they get here with us. So
yeah, they'll be in there in a few minutes. Brandon, good to see you, man. Jimmy, Dan, I've been going back and watching some old Seinfeld the other day while I was in my living room doing a little listing. I was like, man, episode 2, introduction of Art Vandelay.
Yeah. Yo.
So,
you know what's weird?
Yeah.
It unsubscribed me from your channel.
What?
Yeah. YouTube doing weird things.
Yeah, I've been pretty much holding the same. I'll gain 3, lose 3, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mr. Bill, good to see you, sir.
Mike, you with us. Joe.
Sean in the house. Tim. Good to see you. OCG, old card guy, man. Good to see you. First time in with us. I know I've seen you in Rev and Nikkit T's chat before. Glad you're here with us.
Yeah.
Tim Glock, good to see you. Joe, Mike.
Hope all our Texas friends are okay.
Yeah, I think they were talking about a few of them. I thought I saw today that were talking they were getting power back now.
Yeah. I have a friend down in Houston that said they were it's gonna get power back like tomorrow. They're ride out one more day.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah. We're like we're talking about moving down to like Texas, you know, like because we're getting tired of the cold. Like it snowed every single day this week, and we had an Arctic or polar vortex, whatever that crap is. Sorry, but like it is cold here, and I'm from Massachusetts, so I'm like, I got cold tolerance. No, I've never experienced -9 with wind chill. That's terrible. Like the dog's got to go out, open the door. I'm like, you're on your own, dude.
That's Minnesota weather, bro. That's where my brother lives. Hey, it is not clickbait. I promise you they are coming. They called me. They are actually meeting with the Hudsons earlier today. So they were coming straight from there. Man, I can tell you, we haven't had the extreme cold. Like it's only been in the 30s. But, dude, I think I've started a new project. I think I'm building an ark in the backyard because, man, it will not stop raining here. We've literally, I've got like muck boots on right now because that's the only way I can get to the shed. I got to wade through the mud and the water and all that. Yeah, there you go. Adventures with the Hudsons. Glad you guys are here. They are on their way. In fact, they are here. So it's not clickbait, guys. I promise.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, man. Hey. Joey, bada bing. Good to see you, brother.
What's going on, Joey?
Candace, good to have you in. Cernock, man, thanks for coming by. Appreciate you guys. Everybody that's here. We were just in here talking about the global warming.
Yes, indeed.
We're waiting for the global warming. We're wanting to warm up.
Yeah.
But one of those things, man. Man, it's good to see you guys. I know y'all are on the hop right now.
Oh boy.
We just finished dinner with Adventures with the Hudsons.
And if I didn't look down at my phone, I don't know if we would even been here. We were just caught in conversation, and and I looked down. I was like, "Hey, we got like 15 minutes to get to the house."
Yep.
Hey, they beat you in. Just give you a heads up.
Oh, cool. They were right next to us, so their hotel was right next to where we were eating.
Joey says, "Rev, let me see them hands." Why are you looking for grease, Joey?
Yep,
Kim,
there they are.
Good to see you. Miss Annie, good to see you as well. in here.
Oh, trying to get the computer fixed. All right, we got it where we can say hey to everybody as well.
Tommy, good to see you, man. Blackberry Thistle. Tommy says, so Gore was off a bit on the global warming. Wait until he gets the internet established. The world will be much better. Oh, man. Crazy. It has been crazy times.
Okay, now he's going to go play with the lights.
How are you guys with y'all's weather down there? Are you getting the rain like we are?
Not today. We had rain yesterday, but it's cold here, but I think we're past all the bad stuff. We didn't really get a whole lot of much of anything, really.
Yeah, I didn't get in early enough to do the makeup, so if I'm shining a little bit, that's what it was.
You kind of have a halo between you guys, but it's cool.
Halo. It would be on her, I guarantee you, way before it'd be on me.
Oh man! Of course, I've heard before that's the horns that prop it up.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
to hold the halo.
I about agreed, and then I thought, oh my Lord, we were talking about Nikkit. I better be quiet.
It's like, wait a minute, she's not fine. I'll tell you that. She said she was fine.
I get in trouble. Fine. Yeah, whenever she says fine, I know that doesn't mean that she's fine. I've been married long enough, Sam, but I still miss it every now and again.
Old car guys here.
Yeah, what's that saying about, like, smart guys learning from their mistakes and wise guys learning from others?
Yeah, I'm a smart guy every now and again. We got a few guys from OCG, the old car guy. He's a really awesome guy from the car channel. So it's good to have him in here hanging with us tonight.
Yeah, I've seen him on y'all's when you did your live with the car guys there. I thought I saw him in there. I've heard you guys shout him out before.
Yeah, he's from Canada, so he's really dealing with cold weather.
Complaining about the cold. Yeah, they're messing with the penguins up there by now, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, most certainly.
Hey, Annie said Arizona's nice as well. No hurricanes, no humidity.
Yeah, that's right. It has been even in Georgia. Everybody always says, we don't get cold weather and all that. It was 37 and we were waiting outside to go in, and that wind was blowing and it was wet in the air. It's cold. And I know it's relative. People are getting colder temperatures, but we Georgians, we don't understand what it takes to for cold weather. So it's chilly for us.
Sam's like, y'all have.
Now when it's like 70 degrees like every day, and then all of a sudden you get a random cold snap, it's like 30 degrees and y'all are dying.
Yeah, the bones can't take it. I tell you, we're used to 70. Our thermostats gets thrown off. The Hudson says it's cold here. There are some Ohioans that
say it's cold here.
They figured it out too.
Yeah. Yeah, we deal with that humidity, man. Like coming off the water, like the wind coming off the water for us. It gets cold out there. Like you can drive across the bridge to the beach and you're like, whoa. One of those things. But man, well, it is good to see you guys. Like I know y'all have had a lot going on. I know when I messaged them, just give all you guys heads up. I was like, look, we can talk about YouTube because I know you guys are all over the place with that.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride for y'all, huh?
It has been fun. Of course, reselling whenever the pandemic sort of hit off, because I'm a full-time pastor, I really didn't feel comfortable getting out and doing all the things that we were doing before to sort of keep the business going. Not that we wanted to not get COVID either, but we were fearful that we may get it and hand it off to somebody else in the church that we pastor. So I kind of pulled back a little bit when it comes to going out and sourcing and things like that. So I just thought, what do I do that I could already show, that I could share? And my dad's got old cars. I've always enjoyed working on old cars, and we never thought it would take off the way it did. But it shot off like a rocket.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is, man. we obviously been cheerleaders on the sideline. Going, man, that's awesome to see just what you guys did. Because I know, I mean, like for a lot of you guys that are in here that are resellers and going through the grind of, creating content, doing YouTube, like to watch these guys, because they ground it out with the reselling side and then, going to that other side. So have you been able to translate a lot of the stuff that you've learned through trial and error there over to your new channel?
I don't know. I guess I don't believe I'm doing anything different than what I was doing. Of course, I learned a lot through the year and a half at Rev Resell, and we're still not through with that channel. We just want to, when we have content to put out there, maybe yard sale season and stuff like that, we're going to do it. But of course, we did some things that I learned a lot, and I'm still learning. But it's just, I think the umbrella for cars and first starts and working on old cars in the woods, I think there's just a multiplicity of more people that are, well, that's a big word, but more people that are watching that type content. And when YouTube pushed it, it sort of shot. And so I really don't think I did anything different other than it being content that more people were willing to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good to see Jeremy and George in the house as well.
Yeah,
well, certainly.
Hey,
You guys for coming. Obviously, they've come down and seen you guys recently. So
yeah, they were a big help whenever we first started the Revstoration channel. I just sort of, I mean, it was monetized in like a month, and whenever I showed them, they were able to help us out and point out a few things. So what the hells are awesome people.
They're a fountain of knowledge when it comes to YouTube for sure.
Yeah. You saw Tim's comment, Rev, you do realize the old man is the real star.
There is no doubt that my dad is a real star. And that's another thing, the different platform or the different umbrella or the different niche of Revstoration and Rev Resell. We never, of course, reselling content, or most of the people that watch are interested in, they're already doing reselling or they're interested in that. And we were just talking with the Hudsons. We didn't get any blowback at all on Rev Resell channel. It was just kind of family, just cool people, everybody, maybe one or two thumbs down every now and again. But boy, when you get a car channel, people find reasons to point stuff out, or the way you jack up a car, or the why'd you do this? You talk too much.
Yeah.
The old man. I call my dad the old man as a term of endearment, and just about every video somebody fusses at me for calling him old man, being disrespectful. It's kind of like, no, we're not being disrespectful.
I think I made it into my very first video I helped on in Revstoration. I got called a dunce. Like within
I think they were
5
talking
minutes
about
of the
me.
video going up, and I was like, "Wow, all right, here we go."
And that's been really, for us, that's been the hardest part. Y'all know we've talked numerous times. I love people, and even people that I don't know. So when people have negative stuff to say, some people are like, "Oh, just blow it off. It's nothing, no big deal." I guess I care too much. So that has been harder on this channel, is because I think there's more turds that watch that type content.
Like old car guy said, very harsh critics.
Yes. Very harsh.
Everybody's an expert when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like here, reselling, everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Like even though we all do the same thing, everybody's doing, but you get into something like that. I mean, I did construction stuff for a little while, and it's the same thing with that. A group of guys walk in there, even not being on YouTube, they're like, "Oh, what did you do?" Well, well, there's things.
In comparison, it would be like me telling Eric, "You taped that box wrong." It's kind of like, the box got taped. Who cares if I taped it top down or left, right? It doesn't really matter. But that's
Jeremy said, haters gonna hate. Just keep them watching.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
I was gonna say, like, how much do you think that's like volume too? Just you got so many more people watching, so the probability of turds, like,
I agree, and I think too. And one of the things that we have tried to do on this channel from the very beginning is we have tried to reply back to every comment. And it's going to get to a point that I'm not going to be able to do that.
Mhm.
But when we reply back, most of those people that maybe were having a bad day and said something maybe that was off the cuff, I'll try to correct it or say thank you for watching. And sometimes we win people over, but sometimes I very rarely ever, I don't believe I ever.
We hit that block button.
Yeah, so now we have learned how to just hit the block button. If this ain't for you and you want to just sit here and just keep making negative comments, I can find something else to do. So,
BlackBerry
It's gotta feel good though.
Bless their hearts.
You got like a tough day in school. It's like, boom.
Yeah. See ya.
Don't have to see you anymore. You hate to have to do that. You really do. You don't, that's kind of a last resort, but sometimes it just.
I think it's like, pruning a tree though. You know what I mean? Like you're cultivating your community, and it's like, I don't want people to be around that. There's some people that just don't care who comes in and let them say whatever, but
right.
I don't know. I was watching a stock trading live stream today, and the guy was just spreading some philosophy from the Bible.
Yeah.
And that's a really dividing thing to go down. He was very, very clear about what he was saying and trying to teach from the Bible. And you just had a lot of people who were hating, so he's just like, okay, bye. It's like, you don't have to listen if you disagree. Just don't be disrespectful.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my thing. Keep it friendly. You don't have to like everything we do, or like you said, agree with it, but you don't have to show your tail in letting us know that you don't like it.
Yeah.
The Ballantine collection said hide user from the channel is the best tool. Trolls keep on commenting, giving you the traffic, but no one can see it but them.
That's exactly what we do. And I guess they will notice it because I never reply back anymore after they're hidden, because I don't see it anymore. So that's best for me, because I care so much. I can have 1,000 comments on a video and have 2 that are negative, and my mind is going to go to those 2 that are negative. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't that way. I wish I could just thank the Lord for the 998 good ones. But it seems like or at least me, I focus so much on the 2. But I mean, we're not complaining at all. The content has been fun for us to do. We make longer videos, and people are watching, so it's been really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. It's good for sure. Man, it is kind of crazy to see like that kind of transformation there, to just jump into something else and it go like it did. Because I was like, when you guys were first talking about it, I was like, yeah, that would be pretty cool. But man,
yeah, that was and what we did. I was just talking with the Hudsons over awesome steak, so we were enjoying some good food. I think when we first did the channel, and of course I mentioned it to the viewers that were watching at Rev Resell, and I think initially we had like 125, maybe 150 that came over and subbed like at a one day just bang. And I think for whatever reason, YouTube may have saw that and thought, wow, a lot of people are subbing to his channel, and it gave me like a little bit of a push. Right. So it went from videos, I think I had at that time maybe 3 or 4 that were out, from getting 200 or 500 views. It was bumping it up to like 1,000 and 2,000. And then it just sort of snowballed. And it seems like every video we will get new subscribers that'll come, and the videos will run for a week. And we've got videos that are getting every 48 hours are getting 2,000 views, and they're months old. And that's the cool thing about car content, is they're evergreen. If somebody's looking at a Mustang, it doesn't matter if I started it a week ago or a year ago. I think people are still going to be interested in watching those videos. Now, of course, they don't make as much money. It seems like the ad revenue, I don't know how all that works anyway. But if you look at how much it's making, it doesn't seem to be making as much as that initial push.
I'm still kind of in awe. I'm not even gonna lie. Just watching the channel doing its due, I'm still kind of blows my mind that we have 10,000 people that want to watch.
And like 83% of the people that watch are not subbed.
It's crazy.
You know, it's I don't know how to convert that. I don't know. I don't really think subs matter. Every person that subs to the channel, it matters. But the views is really what matters the most. But still, it's you know, I wish that sub. I mean, if you're getting a video with 100,000 views, you know, if half of them subbed, I'd be, you know,
you'd be
a whole bunch more subs than we got now.
I mean, I've seen gamer channels like literally call people out, you know, like I see in my metrics that 50% of y'all that watch this aren't sub. So sub, like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's a call to action.
Revstoration. I mean, I have seen where you put it in the beginning and then there later on you mention it again, but you know, where it's like, hey, it's absolutely free. It's not going to cost you a thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, but so Glock had asked a question: how much do you review the metrics of your channel, like the analytics, looking at watch time, non-sub views, click through? Obviously, you answered some of that right then because you knew.
Oh yeah, I think I look at it. I really don't know if I am smart enough to be able to really dive in and say, well, I need to do something different here or there, because I think whatever we're working on dictates what happens in the video. Because if I'm trying to start a car that hasn't started in 30 years, I've got certain things I've got to do to get it running. And I tell jokes. I do dad jokes in about every video. I do something corny. So me and my dad, or me and Nikkit, we have a good relationship where we're able to sort of have more joking fun while we're doing the work. So looking at when people are falling off, I probably need to get better at that. But being able to compare, because I'm trying to put videos out at the same time, so being able to compare and knowing when the best time to put it out, we watch that. The first 48 hours, we kind of pay attention, and then when the views get really high, we pay attention.
There you go. Tommy is saying that it's not necessarily converting that, because if you're getting a lot of unsubbed, it means you're actually getting pushed out to new people all the time.
Oh, that's exactly right. That's what happens with the impressions, and that's probably where those negative comments are coming from, is people who are not subbed, and for whatever reason they don't like me or don't like what I'm doing. They just feel like instead of just not subbing and moving on, they want to say something, kind of take a shot across the bow while they can. So most of those that we're saying deuces to, they're probably not going to come back anyway, but that's okay.
or they're subbed and they're staying subbed to just leave negative comments on YouTube, which is okay too.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Every thumbs down.
Watch a commercial while you're at it. You know.
That's right.
Hey, stick around and see what I do next that you don't like.
That's right. That's right.
What Dale said, the easiest conversion is to place a sub button in the lower corner of your video.
And somebody taught me that. I forgot who it was.
Who that was.
The one that said it.
Yep, we've got that, and I, you know, it's hard for me to figure out which way to point in the videos to say, hey, come down, no, over here. But we try to encourage people to sub to the channel and do that, and I think we're doing okay when it comes to converting it. But when we look at those numbers of the high numbers that are not subbed, I wish we could work that down. But like you say, it's probably a good thing that YouTube is still pushing it to people that aren't subbed.
The Balancing Collection made a comment, says how many cops are looking for Rev stealing signs. They don't look for that for him. He is known for his lead foot.
Yeah, they I actually was driving
at 65 back there behind your head.
We got a pudding. I was driving it, went and picked up my son from soccer practice yesterday, and I'm driving. And there's a cop pulls up next to me in the turning lane and is pointing at me, and I'm thinking, "Oh Lord, what in the heavens have I done now?" And we rolled down the window, and he said, when the light turned green, he just wanted to get in front of me. I was like, "Hey, dude, I'm good." So I let him get in front of me. I thought I was in trouble, but I wasn't.
Hey, Uncle Bo, Tony, good to have you with us this evening, and Brian Red Dirt Picker, good to see you as well, bro.
Hey, man,
have you guys coming through. Click-through rate on suggested impressions is the biggest metric to watch. That's what Tommy had put out with
Yeah, we looked. I appreciate that. I agree with that, Tommy. One of the things for us is like the first 24 hours of a video, the click-through rate is usually the people that are subbed. We noticed that on our channel. And after about 24 hours, if that click-through rate is high, I mean, we've seen it as high as 15%. It'll start getting pushed out, and then when it pushes out, that number will drop, but the views will go up and subs will go up. So I've gotten caught too that if I look at an older video, we got one that's like 100,000, and you look at it and it's like 2.1. But it's actually a good thing because it's got almost 1 million impressions where they're sending it out to all of these different people, still sending it out. And so the click-through rate has dropped dramatically from what it was, but, that's okay. So I think looking at the numbers and knowing how to compare them is what I'm trying to learn.
And I think the first video that really took off, it was like 10 days in before it really hit and took off. I mean, it took a little while, but when it hit, and it climbed. So
I was like reselling videos. if you put one, it wasn't our channel. If we put one out, of course we would get views. If we put the next one out, that last video is dead. I mean, it's like, we just want to see what you're doing now, not what you did a week ago. We've got channels. I mean, we've got videos that are 90 days, 100 days, way older, and they're still getting views. So that's also the cool part is even like this week, it's been raining, it's been cold. I've not been outside to do a video, and we're still getting at about 18,000 views every 48 hours, and I hadn't put a video out in like 8 days. So that's pretty cool.
Is it easier to take the haters that beef with your rebuild techniques than those that complain about something dumb like the color of your shirt?
Yeah, I tell you what, rebuilding techniques, we don't have any problem with that because we have never said that we were like professionals. It looks like we've been very successful on getting the car started. There may be other guys that would have done it differently, but they would have never done it differently on that car with me and my dad. That's just how we do it. Yeah. And so I'm good. I've learned stuff from mean comments. I'd never tell them that, but I've learned a lot of things. Yeah. But when people complain about crazy stuff like the color of your car or talking too much, I'm a pastor. I get told I talk too much all the time. So, that doesn't bother me much.
Yeah. Obviously there's some different things like Tommy was talking about the being able to group content like Ford truck, that kind of stuff. Because that's probably what helps with you guys too, because you're moving to a different car after a few videos.
Yeah.
And people are like, hey, if you want to see this car start, then obviously you're going to look at that. If you want to see this other car, so that is kind of good.
Yeah.
Hey, Boris and Natasha, good to see you guys here.
Hey, yo.
Hey. It'll be interesting to see what happens like to the channel when like companies like Ford go all electric.
Yeah.
And there's like that nostalgia like that people just love.
Well, it's already there. I think most of the stuff that we're working on, mostly 60 model automobiles, and we have and we talk about the negative ones, but it is awesome to hear people will talk about. I mean, we'll just tell you a story about their grandfather used to have that car. They used to have a car like that. So we have really heard some really cool stories surrounding automobiles. Sometimes people think of their grandparents, they think of the car they drove. So that's been really neat for us to hear that.
We can apply a little of our reselling to the channel too. When we finally get a vehicle here at the house to work on.
Another vehicle.
It's going to another one. We got old Puddin'. And the Montclair. We're actually going to be selling the ones that we fixed, and
that's what we're wanting to do. I think that would be a good crossover thing. Is we're wanting to, get a car fix it up, get it to where resell it, get one, fix it up, and buy Nikkit a new car. That's the plan. I don't. We've not borrowed money since I've gotten out of college and we got married. I was really upside down when it comes to money, so we've made a choice that we wouldn't borrow money for anything. So we have paid cash for everything that we have. So that's sort of our deal off camera. Is that I would buy cars and we would just sort of go through the flipping process until we're able to pay cash for a new one. So,
yeah, that's true. I was going to ask you about that because I watched a video when you guys pulled out all those vintage hood ornaments.
Yeah.
Have those hit the reselling market, or you guys?
No. All of those. It was amazing those were all Chevrolet. I had no idea what hood ornaments they were, but people saw that video and just pointed out. I mean, there's some of those that'll go for, cleaned up for a couple $100 a piece. But they're still sitting on a shelf, and I've listed one thing, and it seemed like the last 6 months, and it was some razor stuff that I bought at the Honey Hole last week, and every one of them sold. So we're ready to get back in the reselling and start listing and doing more stuff. Nikkit's looking at me. We've still been buying. I just haven't been listing as much as I should.
Death pile, that garage. Oh boy.
Yes.
I feel attacked.
It's like the death pile has turned into death pile for eBay has turned into death pile of cars.
Christina's like, if Christina was here right now, I would hear like the hurts in my heart. Like I know. Like,
you think you're in church? Can I get an amen?
Yeah, but there's so many comparisons though. Getting back, I seen an old car guy, OCG, mentioned about like revivals.
Yeah,
it's like yard sale videos. We know that when we do yard sales, garage sale videos, that they always do better than just what's old content or maybe just going to a thrift store. First starts, but for our channel, what has gotten more views is the will it move. We can get the car started, and a lot of people like those. But if a car has been sitting in one place for a long time and you get the brakes fixed and you get it to move, there's just something about that really draws people's attention. So I'm almost wanting just to go around and find old cars that have just been sitting out and be like, hey, I'll pay to get it running and move it if you'll just let me video it. And I actually think people would be cool with that. And so
he started bringing them home. He might be coming to live one of y'all.
Yeah, we don't have much space to pile a bunch of them here at the house.
I mean, I live in an apartment complex, so plenty of parking spots. I don't know if the place is gonna be cool with it, but I mean, you have my permission.
Right?
Yeah.
Right now, if you park the car in my yard, it'd sink.
Yeah.
No, it won't because it's underwater.
Yeah. Well, it's just like Jeremy and George said, smart plan. I think there's something too about, people have contacted us and be like, hey, I've got a car that's been sitting here. Is there any way? And we've been reluctant because I don't want to work for somebody else. Of course, I don't want to do this and get paid for it. If I was a mechanic, I wouldn't enjoy doing what we do if I was getting paid to do that all the time. So if somebody has an automobile that they don't have a time limit on it, or they don't say, hey, you got to have it done by Friday, we would be interested if it's a cool car and something different to get it going.
So not like a Chevy Nova.
I love the Chevy Novas. I'm not a Chevy. It seems like it's been all Fords, but
yeah.
I might have to see if I can get him to bring home an old Camaro or SS.
Oh.
She wants a Chevy, but
in a minute. That or a Stingray. Bring it on.
If we find one, it'll be on the channel.
Hey, Thrifty Pickers, good to see you guys in here. And also Krillin in the house. Krillin said, Bolo, there's cats off of cat converters right now are high. I do know that because I got a guy that I know that is always looking. He's like, if you see an old car side of the road, call me. So
it is amazing. People will cut them off, and I mean they're still bringing good funds. I mean it brings. There's been times we had 2 church buses at the pastoral or at the church, and we were afraid there for a while that people are actually going to come and cut them off because they're just sitting there. I don't know why they bring so much money, but I think they do.
Hey, Tommy's got an idea right here.
I think that's an awesome idea.
Find abandoned cars in the wood with a drone. I bet it'd be huge treasure hunting.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that's basically the cars that we work on. My dad has purchased cars basically over the last 40 years of my life, and he always had big dreams and plans, and then life kind of came and he wasn't able to do anything. But my dad doesn't sell anything,
No.
so he sold probably 25 when he moved. But he still has probably 10 or 15 that we've got left to work on, and they're basically in the woods. So
The Willis that's eventually going to be worked on looks like it's got a tree growing through the front of it.
that'll be cool. Have to cut trees down just to get the vehicles out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, cat converters are regulated. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Certain ones. Boris and Natasha, thanks for coming in, hanging out. We'll see you next time around. Now that you found us.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I know that my guys said that cats sometimes you have to have a title.
Yeah,
So you can bring one in. So,
and that's the reason why. Because I mean, people are actually stealing them. In the middle of the night, cutting them off cars and taking them in.
be like when copper was so high, people come out to turn the water on, no water.
Yeah, no air conditioner and no air conditioner.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nat Man Steady Learning, good to have you as well.
Hey Nathan, what's up, man?
Yeah, start the school tomorrow to become an auctioneer.
Oh wow!
Oh, congrats, man! That'll be fun to add to the 3-ring circus.
Got a lot of jobs going.
Dang.
I feel like almost every reseller's got something else going on. I mean, it's not just the ultimate full-time side hustle if you're doing it full-time, and full-time side hustle if you're not doing it full-time as well.
Yeah, that's right. There's always, keeping your mind. I think for me, it's always just been a hobby, and I always have something else going, working on, doing something else. I don't want to I think when we stay still, we start rotting like those old cars. So
I hear you, man.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Moving and doing.
The cat's out in the middle of the night. Tommy talking about it. He's done nothing like hearing somebody start their car when someone's cut the cat out of it.
Scares them a little bit too, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's crazy. So what about Junior there? You got him out there on the cars yet?
No, there's so many things. He's what, 13?
He's
14. Yeah, so he'll be driving before long, so they'll probably, if the channel's still kicking around the next year, we'll probably have to find him something and get him out there to work on and get it going. So he'll be making an appearance before long.
Yeah. And this is a little tidbit for Sam, because Sam has helped me with some questions about JC in the past. He actually got named captain of his soccer team this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at him go.
Yeah. So we're excited about that for him. So Jeremy said their side hustle is they got gator certified. So now they can remove gators.
Nuisance gators. Wow.
I hope
see.
I know he's already making the video.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see a video on that. I want to see the squat on the gator and hold its jaws and the. I want to see it all.
Coming in like this, like.
See Jeremy trying to sing to it with his guitar.
Yeah. Hey, I missed a quarter or two. I ain't got that picture.
See it.
Hey Nate, good to see you live from Australia. Good to have you in.
Indeed.
Thrifter. Yeah, that's awesome with JC, man.
Yeah, thank you. We're excited. Jeremy said we will see videos.
Yeah.
Yes, I guarantee you that cat will be chasing gators all over Florida.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild. Yeah, I've ate gator. We've caught a gator.
I've messed with a gator.
Yeah.
I've grabbed them by the tail before.
Yeah.
I never got up close to the mouth.
No.
Yeah. I'm cool with that though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tap the tail and run. Yeah, I remember that. Rev decided to. There's in South Georgia, state park there that the gators actually live. It's a natural spring, but it's full of gators, and one was sunbathing, and he decided he was going to grab the tail. And I said, look, that thing turns around and it gets your arm, you walk into the hospital.
It's just like anything else. If you get the back tires up off the ground, they can't run but one way. So I grabbed his tail and picked it up. It turned his head like maybe a quarter of an inch, and I was backing up. I was out of there.
It's running a serpentine pattern.
Yeah.
No, I don't want no parts of it. When we catch gators, we catch them a little different. 30 off 6.
Yeah. Put them to sleep before you grab them.
Yeah, there ain't no biting going on after that.
Yeah.
No, back then, my granddad had a big pond, and he had one get in it, and he had cows. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
gators and calves don't mix too well.
Oh, I bet not.
Nuisance for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, they taste good fried though. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's one of the things. They I've never been. I when I was in Florida, we would see them along, not like South Florida like you're talking about, but I was in high school. We went to a gator farm right in the South Georgia. There was these old boys, little country guys, man. They're out there walking around with a stick, poking for them, digging a lot of holes. I was like, bro. And then they showed us, you know, what an alligator snapping turtle. You know,
Yeah.
Well, they had them like, you know, big.
Yeah.
The guy took a log and put it in his mouth, and it snapped it in half. I was like,
hell no.
Yeah, they
like,
bite. What is it? If you get bit, you've got to wait for the first thunder before they let your finger go. So we've eaten turtle. Well, we've not. I've eaten turtle.
I remember that same place. People would actually go water ski there because the spring fed into a lake. So of course the gators lived in the lake. And a friend of ours from the church said, "Hey, do you and the kids want to go water skiing?" I said, "Where are you going?" They said, "Magnolia Springs." I said, "Well, aren't there gators in there?" She goes, "Oh yeah, we just do a couple of passes and scare them off." I said, "No, thank you." No, I'm not water skiing with the gators.
Hell no.
No. Nikkit.
I'm gonna go buy a slip and slide. I'm gonna slide on my front lawn. I don't need adventure like that.
The first time I fell off, I'd be running across the top of the water. I'd be like a topwater jig.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out.
Yeah, when we talked about her being a fun size reseller, she's snack size gator bait.
Yeah, seriously.
No.
Exactly right.
Oh, man.
Jeremy said, "Come on down, we'll take you out and get swamped. Tons of gators. I'll come see him all day long."
Oh yeah, we've been around them, but
yeah.
we won't be going swimming with them. I don't think.
No, that's to me. Why choose to make yourself lower on the food chain? I just no, thank you.
Bingo, right there. It's like the same thing with the shark dudes. It's like, look at me swimming a bull shark. Oops, it bit my calf off. How'd that happen?
Right?
Like,
the bear people. Like we had a lady here locally that lived out with the bears. Man, she didn't have no power or anything, but you know, the bears eventually get hungry enough. Like, and that's what happened. To be honest, it's sad as it is.
Yeah.
Like they don't know if she died of natural causes or nature causes. We don't know. It was
an old buddy of mine never would swim in the ocean, and I said, "Why?" He said, "You ever read anywhere where a shark came up on the beach and bit nobody?" I said, "No, I never read that." He said, "I ain't either."
Nope.
So pretty smart.
Yeah,
I growing up in Cape Cod, like, you know, where we would swim is like right where they would have shark catching competitions, you know. And like my friend showed me an aerial view one time because there's like a marine biology lab. You could see all the sharks like off the coast, like right by where everybody's swimming. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna stick to pools.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you fly over the Outer Banks, you see that, man. Everywhere. It's like they're thick out there, and like we have this stuff now because they've tagged some great whites, right? So they're like, "Oh, a great white just came in the Sound." Okay, well, like I'm not.
See you later.
I know where not to be. Like,
yes.
I guess you got numbers. If there's like 1,000 people on the beach, it's like, well, if they pick one of them off, I'm getting out. But it's going to be my luck. I'll be the one they pick off, you know.
People here surf a lot. So, man, they're always talking about getting bumped. They're like, yeah, we got bumped or nipped that or whatever. I was like, nah, that'd be it. I'd be dead with a heart attack out there.
I'd get bumped one time, and then I'd be gone.
Yeah. I have a very strict rule about bodies of water. If I cannot see my feet, I don't get in.
That's shallow water, y'all. I'm going to tell you.
I just don't. There's a beautiful spot in Florida, Santa Rosa. You can see waist deep. You see your feet.
Yep.
But the first big shadow under that water, I'm out.
Hey, I'll tell you this.
Staying.
Since you said Santa Rosa, that's where I used to live in that area. So when I was in high school, this is like one of the dumbest things I've ever done in life. But we went with a buddy of mine shark fishing off the beach. Well, here's what we did. So we had mullet, like this size mullet, right? And we'd slice them to where they're bleeding. And then we would carry out with these bottom rigs, like carry them out over our head till we get chest high, then throw it out as far as we can and wade back at night with a big candle.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Right. So like we're out there, he's one guy standing on the beach, and we're wading them out 2 at a time like that, and then walking back. Well, we caught one. They were like, well, whose turn to wade out now? So and man, so me and my buddy, at the time I was a lot smaller than I am now. My buddy's probably my size now, right? So he had about 100 pounds on me, and but he's like, man, I felt something touch my leg. I said, me too. I'm out. Like, it's like, but yeah, people coming up on the beach going, what are you guys catching? Looks like you caught something. I said, no, that's bait. The hook's like that big. And they're like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, we caught a couple about maybe 5-6 feet long. Not but I was like, now in my mind, I'm like, you're an idiot, dude. Yeah. We went out.
That doesn't sound large, but I'm 5 foot tall. So it's as big as I am.
We got a better idea. We took a John boat out and we were chum for them. So we had 2 buckets of chum, which is basically like chicken and blood and all that kind of stuff. And we got rolled in a wave with the rods, the chum, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
There's so many things I've done in life that initially it sounded like a good idea. And the older I've got, the more wise I've got. I've always thought, why am I still alive? You know, how did the Lord still allow me to live?
Like somebody really likes you guys, and it's like hearing stories like that and thinking back of like those moments for me. I'm like, dang, now I see why my parents are terrified. I feel that ever-growing anxiety as a new parent now.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Wasn't that big of a deal. And now we look back on it and we think, how am I still breathing? You know, that's crazy.
Even my kids are like, Dad, you're an idiot. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Well, it was adrenaline rush at the time, but
yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
OSP.
OSP, good to see you. Taller than Nikkit T, barely. He got it.
Fun size, Chris. Fun size.
He's been stretching while we were. He's getting ready for the next sale.
Yeah, Thrifty Pickers asked, are there any plans to do more reselling videos? Most certainly. I think when yard sale season starts back, of course, there's a lot of the oldest part of our congregation have already gotten vaccines. So we're slowly beginning to do more of that. So we're hoping to be able to do more content.
Yeah.
Whew, all that good food I'm eating. Yep.
Yeah, it is, man. Hopefully yard sales will be back in full effect before long.
Mm-hmm.
They might be selling boats and rafts out there where we're at. But.
Yeah, we have still been able, and that's the cool thing about eBay, is that really you can put in work a long time ago and still gradually get paid for that work. Mm-hmm. Of course, I've not been listing hardly anything, but we're still making 2 or 3 sales a day sometimes, and over the weekend. So it's nothing like it was. I'm nowhere near the 30K club, but we're still making money on work that we're really not putting in. So all I've been doing is basically shipping stuff out. So that's
Isn't that great?
Really cool. It is.
That's kind of great. I don't know. I'm in the same boat. I don't know. I sold plushies, like 2 plushies for $30 like the other day. I was like over the moon. I was like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I did, but that was before.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the crazy purchases I had. I know people are like, you hear Beanie Baby and they're like, run away.
Sure, yeah.
But I bought a huge bag of them, and I will tell you what, on Mercari, they have sold like crazy.
That's awesome.
And I don't know why. I mean, they're just Beanie Babies, but they have, I mean, I don't ask a lot of money for them because I know, mine are not one of the ones worth, the $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, any of them are.
But they're selling. I mean, they sell for me. So I was like, hey.
I mean, for the same reason, like, I guess Webkins are selling for me, the nostalgia factor,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
crazy.
Works.
Yeah, I probably have. I've got 3 or 4 boxes back behind me of trading cards that I need to list, and this stuff is simple and easy to list. So I've had time to do that, but I don't know if y'all are anything like me. It seems like if there's any time that you have, we have been able to find something. We've had more time in this last year because of the pandemic to list and to do more things like that. But we found all kind of things to fill up our schedule. I mean, Netflix is like the killer of any momentum, or Amazon, or things like that. So,
sure.
So we have we've had a great time, but we haven't been using our time probably to the most potential to make money. But that's not all life's about. I think we've come to figure that out too. Is money can only take you so far. If you had $1 million to spend in this last year, what would you really been able to do with it? Yeah. So we've just found out there's a lot more things that are more important. Yeah. Not saying that we won't be reselling all our stuff. We will, but money's not everything. We all understand that.
Yeah.
Yep.
They wanted to say hi to a couple of people in the chat. Jennifer Hayes, thanks for coming in. Dan, the answer man, good to see you, brother.
Dan, my brother from another mother.
Yeah. John Raver in the house. Good to have you here. Papa Sticks, good to see you, man.
Sticks. Hey.
Yeah, those guys. Papa Sticks joined us at the 411 there for a little while, so see you guys hanging out. He's the one buying everything while we were.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Filling up his automobile.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he did good out there. I actually sold something the other day that I got from the 127. That's how long I was like, man, that's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's always a good buy if it sells. We don't need to tell people how long it's been that we've had it, but
I was thinking, I was like, where did I get this from? I was like, 127, like the last day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, one of those things. Yeah. Kind of crazy. What was next trip? Indianapolis. Yeah, so the adventure with the Hudsons have been traveling around, huh?
Yeah.
They've been all over.
It was really good to get to meet them face to face and see them and just spend some time with them.
Yeah, great people, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, Nikkit, you still doing Mercari then? Or are you? I
am. I still do Mercari. The sales are kind of like his. They're not up there anymore, but they still come. They come rolling through. So I can't complain. I kind of pick on his death pile, but I have a little one myself now. It's not as big as the garage.
Yeah. She didn't have to talk about size. I'm just saying she's got one too.
So
she's got a death hill, not a pile.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go. I have a little pile.
That's funny. Ask her, SP.
Yeah, I don't know, Chris. Have you sold your place yet?
No, he actually, I think, sent a message today that said that fell through with it.
Oh my!
Oh boy!
Yeah.
He's holding out for warmer weather.
He is.
Yep.
He's holding out for that.
If you need a loan officer, my mother-in-law's. Awesome.
There you go.
Should get you
Good
hooked
deal.
up.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Papa Stick says he still got the golf clubs for the 411. Well, dude, you bought about a truckload of those
Oh
things.
my Lord, yeah. That's another thing. I have a corner of baseball bats and golf clubs and baseball gloves. So I guess right now really is the time to start listing that before spring gets to kicking around.
Yes.
A lot of people will be reaching out for that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I bought some vintage sets recently, so I've actually sold a couple out of the ones I've listed, but I've actually got a Walter Hagen wooden like hickory shaft one.
Wow.
It's got this spoon head on it. It's a wedge, but it looks like a spoon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. $100 club. We'll see.
Yeah.
It is not listed though. It's in my pile. Judgy Picker said, "How much juicy fruit you still got left?"
That juicy fruit got gone quick. We saved. I opened up one box just to, you got to try it before you try to sell it to make sure it was good. And Nikkit, he doesn't know this, but I have about, I don't know, 7 more packs out in the garage. not cases like we had, but man, that flew out really quick.
It was good. It was good gum.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, you chew it for a minute and it was like, remember double bubble? It was good for a minute and then it starts to get.
Oh, yeah, loses flavor and gone in 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. It was good. It was good gum though.
Fruit stripe gum. That was the one that lasts like that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You could even chew the. I believe that you could even choose the wax.
Tattoos on it. You would get it wet and.
You couldn't tell the difference between the wax and the gum.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I actually told the Hudsons where one of the honey holes was, and they went. And I said, "Hey, did y'all find anything?" They said, "Oh, only $162 worth." I was like, "All
right."
Hey. Yeah. It's something. Oh yeah, they're talking about baseball season, man. I've still got a ton of that baseball gear that I got from the sporting goods buyout because last year no baseball season. So
that's right.
The weather breaks and we can get rid of some of that stuff.
Is it all listed?
Oh yeah. That's finally all that is either listed or gone.
Yeah, good stuff.
Must go good.
Yeah, so it's are listed or gone to the thrift store. If it was lower end. But yeah, I've got helmets and catcher's mask and baseball pants, sliding shorts, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm going to ask this, and this is, I guess, just because we're, been out really, I guess, close to a year of really being active. Have you seen any different trends like on eBay? Is it, same as it always has been? Or I know I've heard people's sales are down, and then you watch people like Lonnie, and if you list, just like always, if you list, it's some stuff's going to sell. So
that's still the case, man. Like I think for me, like over last year, I'm up, but last year's January compared to this year's January is way different. Like I'm knocking on the door of 2K listings now. So
yeah,
like I've put in some grind on it. So it's the same thing. Just like listing consistently every day, just a few items, like it's paying off. Like I think the same formula is true. Like if you list 15 items, you're going to sell 1 or 2 that first day or 2. And then, if you list more than that, obviously you're going to sell more than that. Like today I actually got some good stuff. What's today? Today's Friday. So Wednesday night. And I listed that stuff yesterday afternoon, last night. And I've already sold 3 things out of that. So it's one of those things that it's kind of like the old, if you build it, they'll come. If you list it, they'll buy it. So, for me personally, that's how it's been. I think it just depends on, like everything else, what you got. If you're selling things that are, maybe longer tail, obviously. But I still got a bunch of those parts, and those sell every day.
Yeah.
So, one of those things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lock 30 said, what impact do you see immediately after your Tuesday all-day live listing? I'm sure you probably toward the end of the week, you probably have a lot of sales because of it.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. There's a guy, I think now they're called Pro Duo Flips, but Pro Solo Flips. That guy, man, I watched him a long time ago, and he's the guy that was talking about that formula. Like if I list 15, I'm going to sell 2 within the first 48 hours, and then I'll sell 3 more over the next week or 2. And then beyond that, so if you think if you could list every day and get 5 sales off of listing every day, you know, it's just a matter of, like, it's almost like you put it in, it pushes out the other side.
Yeah.
The more you put in,
found that to be true. I mean, when you list consistently, you find that that is the case. So I guess reselling really isn't all that hard if you put the time in. If you can source decent stuff and you put in the effort, you're going to get it out on the back end. So it is just kind of like Lonnie. I know his wife is now on with him, and they're putting in twice as much work, and they're banking because, you know, they're doing twice as much work and they're actually getting more than double feedback. So there's something to it. It's not rocket science. That's one thing I think all of us have figured out. Yep. If Rev can do it and Sam can do it and Eric can do it, Nikkit T can do it, there's not anybody that really, if you want to put in the effort, you can make money reselling.
I mean, it's the same formula. I mean, obviously there's nuances to all of it, you know, taking better pictures, doing, you know, making better listings, all that kind of stuff comes into play. But it really is, you hate to put it that simply, but if you list it, it'll sell. I mean, look at listings like when you pull up to look at Sell Similar, and you pull up somebody's listing, like, how in the world did they sell that? I've seen things sell that didn't even have a picture.
Yeah,
things sell. It's got more of the guy's foot than it does the item, and it still sells.
But anybody that's getting started in reselling, though, and I don't know, this has always been a point of contention, and it's fine if somebody wants to pay for a course, but you're going to learn to take better pictures the more you do it. You're going to learn to list better the more you do it. You're going to learn how to put in the right keywords the more you do it. It's the same way in YouTube and reselling and anything in life. The longer you do it, if you're getting worse at it, I don't know what to say to you, but you should be learning the more we do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And obviously sourcing better. I mean, that's something I've noticed for myself that's changed. Like, I think last year when I first started, I was around a $25 an item average, and now I'm up to 35, 36. Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those things you kind of start weeding stuff out or lighting stuff up. That's the other thing. It's like, hey, if it's a $5 item, let's make it a $20 item and put 3 more in there. You know, like whatever we need to do to get that cost per item, because it's going to cost you the same to sell a 1 item or 4 items, pretty much. Yeah. Like that's one of the things I think is, but just consistency. I mean, the same, just like what you guys know about YouTube and we know about YouTube. If you consistently put stuff in it, people watch it. If you don't, then people don't.
That's right. Yeah,
it's the same with reselling. You know, if you consistently list it, you'll sell something. It may not sell immediately. It may not be down the road, but like you guys are reaping the fruits of now. You put in the work a while back. It's still coming out.
Yeah. Well, that principle, you know, goes into really every facet of life. You know, if I didn't spend any time or any energy with my wife, she probably wouldn't be my wife that much longer. Yeah. I mean, I hope she would kind of beat me up and work me around so that I would go get around to it. But I think it's that way in everything in life. You sort of get what you put in. There's some reciprocal that comes from that. And it's, I think that's a principle. We all probably work harder. You're going to get more out of it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think too is there's not as much, you know, everybody's looking for like the ultimate shortcut, but really it's just work. I mean,
that's right.
The work, really, that's what it is. There are things you can do to fine tune it, but I mean, ultimately it comes down to just putting in the work.
Yeah, there's some home runs and some of those lucky things that you find, like that minnow dent or something that you just look up on. But if all you're doing is going out and treasure hunting, you're probably going to give up really quick. because you're not going to find it every week. So you've got to just keep chipping away. And if you stay consistently in sourcing, you're going to find a home run every now and again. But it does get disheartening. That's really what happened to us really before COVID, is honey holes sort of dried up. And my sourcing game, I was so used to just going to that honey hole because I only had so much amount of time. I wasn't able to go out and really search. So if I was talking to a new reseller right now, I would say, if you have one honey hole, find two. If you have two, find four, because they dry up, and when they dry up, it'll be tough if you go from getting a bunch of stuff to getting nothing. So finding places to source.
Yeah. I think COVID kind of probably forced some resellers' hands in learning how to be flexible and learning new ways of sourcing.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, that's kind of what had to happen for me, at least. I mean, it wasn't just like it was hard to find stuff. The stuff I was finding was already like eBay prices, So it's like, all right, well, now Goodwill is like comping stuff on their own, and and also like with Ezra and the baby, I'm like super sketched out trying to get out too much.
Yeah. That's the same way with us. I think we've just been very. We haven't put in as much time when it comes to that. I think Glock said, I'm trying to find a way to make money without the work. Yeah. Good luck.
Should I
watch late night television? No.
Rich.
They've all got a plan, a scheme.
That's true.
There's a Patreon or 12 you can get involved in. They'll tell you.
Oh, yeah. They've got a class. They'll teach you how to do it. And they'll show you how to do it, but they won't tell you how to do it because they'll be the one getting rich. That's what I figured out.
Yeah. It's one of those things there. I mean, I do think you can work hard for a season and reap the rewards later on. I mean, I do think that.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the things. And as far as like sourcing too, like recently I went to a sale that I honestly looked at the pictures and said, there is nothing here I'm going to buy. Like, it's really what I thought. And then ended up scoring some good stuff because they weren't all in the pictures.
Yeah, that's right.
And I've now, like, I almost take it as a challenge. Like, if I go someplace and they don't have the stuff I normally buy, like, what can I find here? Like, that kind of thing. That's one of the things I think. Always be learning, always be, willing to take a shot. And for me, it's worked out. Like, not saying they're all home runs, but they're getting more and more.
Yeah, but you also like train your eye and your like own mental like database on like those home runs. Like, some of you may not have thought of. Like, that's why you watch like the Tims and some of the like more niche like resellers out there, right? Like, the off chance you might find that like golf club that's worth like $1,000, or whatever. Yeah. Or a card or whatever it was that you're hunting out there. It's like it's there,
Right.
It's just whether or not like you have an eye or an awareness, or whether or not you're walking past it every day.
Yeah.
That to me is the beauty of. I mean, there's a religious, in Christianity, there's a great parallel, and I'm it, and we're all it. But the beauty is that in reselling, I have found things that before I looked at and saw absolutely zero value in.
Mm-hmm.
That is useless. That is junk. And now that I've resell, I'm able to look at some of those items and see they have great value. I mean, they look like junk before, but now that I know it, I see there's great value in that. I'm grateful that when I look like junk, the Lord, redeemed me and saw great value in me. And so I'm able to do that for others. We don't look at things like they're useless anymore, because even some stuff, even now, I mean, we're able to look at things and think, wow, after you look at it on your phone, somebody would pay $400 for that. And, so it's amazing. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and value is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah,
that's right.
Good to have the world famous Eric Bischoff with us tonight.
Eric Bischoff, what's up?
I think that's a good mindset to have as a reseller too, is being willing to kind of to learn and grow and to stretch outside of what you know, and to learn the different, learn from those that are really good in those niches. Like you said, like Tim, who knows glass like the back of his hand, and Casey who knows golf clubs like the back of his hand. Different people that have those niches. If you're willing to learn and grow, they have the knowledge to share.
And like, you don't even have to work as hard as Tim. Like, he read the books, and he was like around his mom who's like knows that stuff. Like, he's like fast tracking your learning experience. Like, so it's like, it's hard, but it's like really not that hard. You could be the one sitting in, I don't know, basement or wherever reading those books too and not be bothering Tim. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, there is like, I think, it's kind of how what Rev is, his perspective on learning. It's like, it's part of growth. Like, why would you be afraid of growth or kind of frame that growth as like a bad thing? You know what I mean? Because if you're not growing, you're dead. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's it, man. I think it's so vital to us as resellers is to continue to learn, because trends change, things are constantly changing, and like, I guess some of it for me, there is a competitive drive about stuff. So it becomes it's a game within a game for me. Like, hey, I'm gonna go somewhere, I'm gonna find something here. Like, even if I've drove out here, I'm already here. Let's see something that we can dig up. So actually, man, I got on the we were joking earlier. I was showing the guys my find that I found at the sale that I didn't think anything was and we're going back in time to Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, some old Ray-Bans.
Yeah, man, these things are pretty clean. $150.
Wow,
that's awesome.
They're about a $5 purchase. So.
Nice.
I'm like, man, but it's one of those things. Like I said, man, I didn't expect them to be there for sure. The guy's like, hey, we got a bunch of sunglasses in this bag. I'm looking like, well, that's a Ray-Ban.
Right?
I think we all pay for our education, though. I'm thankful for some bad buys, because I won't make that one again. I may learn more on bad buys than I have on my good buys. And some are still sitting out in the garage, and I'm embarrassed to even list them. So it's I think we learn from both sides. I think we learn from the YouTube University, and then we learn by the successes and failures that we've made ourselves that hopefully we're able to share with others.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I've learned is to hedge your bets. So, like, if I'm buying something and I'm taking a flyer on, I'm going to buy something else that I know can at least give me my money back. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. It is. It is, man. But thank January House for helping. Man, that's cool, John. Yeah, January House, man. It's about Nate. Good to see you up in here, man. Nate's one of those guys too. Sports cars, bro.
Yeah, he's crushing it. Yeah,
that's the thing, and you could see, and it's been cool watching him progress and going from the morning show and doing his Amazon thing. And I think, the thing, especially if you were reselling like Eric and I were, like, getting right as like the pandemic was starting, I'm like, damn it, this is the worst time. Everybody's telling you to stay home when you need to go out to like make a living. And it's like learning to be flexible and like and agile. I think that has kind of kept people, I mean, from what I've seen, like the people stayed afloat. Whether or not you're staying afloat and thriving versus like suffering right now is just depending on your ability to adapt,
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's true in so many different ways. In YouTube, I think YouTube's the same way. Not saying that, I mean, we just lucked out on the channel and the growth that hit there. But I think too, we need to look. Lonnie, I think Lonnie had a construction channel, like he was teaching people how to put sockets in the wall. And then he came over to reselling it and hit it through the years, of course, just gradually growing. And there's so many things like that you just have to, I mean, growing mushrooms. I mean, Dapper Tiger may have a channel that's off on the side that blows up. So that was, I think too, don't feel just because you have one YouTube channel, you can't have two. Try something different, try something new, and it may take off.
I mean, it's funny you say that too, because I see it as like reselling, dude. It's like I'm just sharing my passion. You know what I mean? Like You know, I might not have somebody at home that gets geeked up about me finding this or growing that, like, but I put myself out there, and maybe I find myself in a community of people that do get like excited that I found, I don't know, $1,000 worth of boat parts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about YouTube is that no matter what content you put out, there's probably going to be somebody out there that's going to be interested in it. And it's, it may be like our reselling family is, and the people who watch reselling is much smaller than what watches the cars. But we're just as honored when we go back and read comments. It doesn't matter the size. Yeah, that other channel is making, a little bit more money or a lot more money compared to what the reselling channel was making. But once again, that's just, dollars on the 21st. It's not really all that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's kind of crazy to see like just the difference with people that, and honestly, man, all these communities are ever changing, just like anything else. Like it's crazy. Like me and Sam were talking the other day, like we see a lot of people coming in to like this show. Then I'm like, man, like some of these people I didn't know, like they just pop in like from wherever. Or we have a bunch of new resellers that are in the community now, and like some people that have been around for a while or aren't as around. But it is interesting to see like just how people have different passions and pursue different things, and that's what makes it. But for me, YouTube is still not a paying gig because I'm still waiting on AdSense.
Oh, wow. What in the world?
Wow.
Yeah, they're messing with you, dude.
I get an error every time I try to put my banking information in.
So crazy.
Wow, they're not taking your chime?
No.
Oh,
That's
man.
crazy.
It takes it.
I've been emailing with those guys, like getting on the thing like that. It's an ever like, I don't know what's going on with it.
Wow. Well, I hope you figure that out, brother. I wasn't aware of that. It's crazy.
Yeah, Google's just I don't know what it is. Like I've tried a bunch of ways to get into contact with them. Like now I go through YouTube. I've been sending them messages like that shows the error message. They said it's like in their forums and stuff. They said it's actually a pretty common error, but I don't know. It must not be common enough for them to fix it.
It's
so they should fix it, no problem, right?
Yeah. So I've just got a little bank account growing in YouTube land.
Yeah.
They just hold my money, got it in a savings account for me.
Yeah, Google will take care of it. I promise you.
Yeah. No interest for me. I'm sure they're getting some. It's one of those things. But no, it's no problem. Like what I do now mostly is live, so I just enjoy hanging out with the community and having guests in talking about this kind of stuff, and then Tuesdays just working. But yeah, it's fun.
That's one thing for us. We always said with the reselling content that we wanted, we didn't want, we kind of, we wanted to have fun. If it ceased to be fun, we would cease to do it. And it's the same way with this content. Of course, we're able to do it. Of course, there's funds coming in. People are still saying we need T-shirts, we need all this. Really, I gotta kind of want to, because other things in life kind of take precedence. And if I don't, like Sam talked about that passion, if I don't have the passion to go out and go through all of this just to get T-shirts that may make $5-10 a piece, I don't want to ever view YouTube as a job. And I think there's some cats out there that do and make a bunch of money at it.
Yeah.
We just want to, we want to keep having fun, and I think that's what we want to do.
You sound just like me, Rev. I'm like the same way. I'm like, if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. Like,
there's like, so many other things in life that we have to do that are not fun. Yeah. Why in the world would we do not fun stuff for fun? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So that's why we're just going to keep doing what we do, having a good time with it, and hopefully because we're enjoying it, there'll be other people that enjoy it too.
I think that comes through.
Oh, it does.
Like, I mean, if it is, it's weird because like when you watch people, you can tell when people are having a bad day recording. Like, you can tell when it's kind of rough. Like one of those things, you're like, all that kind of stuff comes through, or if it feels forced.
Mhm.
Obviously, none of us are professional actors by any means, and so to put on a face when you're not having the greatest day is one of those things.
But as a consumer, when I see that, I would rather not watch that.
Yeah.
So I think, like, for me, we took this big hiatus, and things were we didn't have a lot of content. We didn't want to force content on viewers, because I think if people are seeing something that's forced, they're not going to be interested in it. And
They feel it too.
Oh yeah, they'll feel it. I could call out some names, and I know we're publicly, and so it's out there. So I'm not going to do it. But I saw a video today of a cat that he just did not look like he was enjoying creating content, and I just wanted to reach through the screen and like, dude, why did you put that out there? Why did you? I wanted to encourage him, but man, it's tough when it comes to, if you have to say I'm really not having a good day today, it's probably not a good time to hit record.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, I know you guys did it, and I did it. Like, I did that 30-day thing where I put out one every day.
Oh man, that blew us up.
Quite a few days in that you're like, dude, I ain't feeling it today. Like, I'm going to put it out because I got to put it out, but
I know
too much effort in there.
Well, y'all were there. That the intention of that for me was like, all right, this is going to blow the channel up, and what it did is it blew me up.
Yeah.
It became work. And at that point, that was really the time where I knew it was time to kind of step back and kind of reorganize YouTube and reselling. And then we're still in that process.
Yeah. Now, I feel you on that, man. What made me realize is when I seen my sales go,
yeah.
I was like, I went from like listing like crazy to listing less because I'm shooting and editing and packing and, double time on everything. So, but I mean, there are guys that do it and do a great deal at it. I mean,
very much so.
Yeah.
It's
you can tell the channels that love what they do.
Yeah.
You really can. They love what they do, and they're happy about, I mean, they just love YouTube. They love their channels, they love their content.
I mean, then you have folks they outsource,
Yeah.
They just have an editor on hand. Here's all the video content. Boom. See you in a couple of days. And
so. It's tough, man. It's one of those things. Like for me, I'm still so thankful just for the community part of it. Cause I'm always reaching out to people now, like with questions. I was actually on the phone with Tim earlier today, and talking to him because I found a vintage like Tommy Hilfiger. I swore off clothing, man. I actually gave all my clothing away except for those sweater jackets and hats and shoes. And I was like, man, I'm not going to mess with that stuff. And then I walked in that sale. There's a vintage Tommy Hilfiger, like made in Holland. And
I was like Murphy's Law deal, dude.
Jacket. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? So I sent a message to him. I said, hey, you mess with this Tommy Hilfiger?
I can hear him in my head now. Yeah, man.
Yeah. He's actually, man, Tim has taken a few days off, man. He's up in the mountains, PA, like chilling. I was like, you needed it, man, after football season. I don't know if you guys have got a chance to check out there. He proposed to Josie. And,
oh, cool.
Awesome.
And
they're engaged.
They had the big football channel, like Authentic in the Beard, man. They're
So, we saw that. Yeah, we saw it on Instagram. That's cool. I think Jeremy just said YouTube family is amazing.
Yes.
And it is true. Like in the car, there's a group, a community that we've built on Revstoration that have car channels as well. And we just have, community, not competition. And it's like a hashtag in that group. And I think reselling has always been that way. We've always sort of encouraged one another. And when somebody gets monetized, we go over and, try to, get that train going with those super chats. And so that's the coolest part for us about YouTube is the cool people that we've met. Two of them are in this that I'm looking at right now. And that to me, Leroy's been to worship with us. He just threw you that $5 bill there that you'll get a month from now, Eric.
Leroy, I appreciate it, bro. As always, not necessary, but I do appreciate it.
Wife time is important.
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, there's like so many in the chat. I mean, you guys, the Hales, other people in the chat that have just helped us, like behind the scenes. They've talked with us as a channel, as friends. It's just, this community is hard to beat.
Yep.
Amen. Yeah, it's fun, man. We obviously getting to hang out with you guys in person is always a treat, but it is neat to see like people that we know, like, me and Sam talk about it. It's like we'd have never, outside of reselling YouTube, buddy, we would have never hooked up and been together. I said, it does bring people from all walks of life and all places in the country and the world. Because
you're right.
Australia in the house, but man, you think of that, and then you think about, for the most part, I mean, everybody's got bad eggs, but for the most part, man, like most people are genuinely are willing to help. Like they're not malicious about anything, or
That's right.
Very odd. And I think some people may do stuff like just out of ignorance, just not knowing. But I don't think there's any malice towards each other for the most part.
Oh no.
Very few. I mean, Eric and I talk about like the stories you hear in the past, but I mean, is that like in the mushroom community, you have people who are like very like protective of their
territory,
recipes, and like how you do things, like people like kind of keep it to themselves, so they get a little mad if you're like, I don't know, it's very archaic in that way now. Like if you're disseminating information and sharing it, it's like, whoa, what are you doing? And then there's like this divide between like if you learn how to grow mushrooms like at a university versus like off the internet like I did. And that's like, because I didn't pay for my education, it was like, I'm not good enough. It's like, but I have a doctorate, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know, but it's interesting, being in a couple of different communities, and reselling is just unbeatable.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all. I mean, there's always going to be those that are going to be territorial and say, "Hey, you shouldn't share that." But we've even had that in reselling. I had a guy say, all these people that get on the internet and tell people how to do it, that's why we can't find deals anymore. And I was like, "Hey, dude, I'm one of them." I'm never going to be able to buy all the good stuff. I mean, I'm not going to be able to go even across town. There's always deals to be found. So if we can't share that, man, you got a really lonely life if you're just going to try to make an island and put all this stuff on it, and you'll be the only one there to enjoy it. Right. I don't want to do that.
Well, I've said before too, like just, I had a Subway restaurant for a while. So Subway teaches you like basically everything affects the brand. Like if my Subway could affect someone else's Subway, because if they have a bad experience here, they're not going to eat there. So I think that with reselling, like all these platforms that we sell on, I mean, this may be like out there for a lot of people, but I think honestly, the more people that are selling on eBay, it actually makes it better for you.
Oh, most certainly.
It puts more of that out there. Like, hey, and if they have a good experience, then man, then they're coming back again and again and again. And, same with Mercari or Amazon or whatever you're selling on. Like, I think the more people that are involved in it, the more guarantee it's still going to be around. Hey, if we kept it just a secret, pretty soon say, hey, we're shutting this thing down. We're not making money.
I mean, the first couple of years of selling on Mercari, I was just battling, like, is this a place where you get scammed, bro? Dude, I hear this is like, the ghetto yard sale that you go to. Like, I was battling a lot of like, probably, and I'm sure being a new company, they had a lot of like just, mistakes and fumblings and whatnot, or people just having misconceptions. But yeah, I was dealing with a lot of like, why are you selling here? Why aren't you on eBay? Like, this is ghetto. I hear people buy stuff on Mercari to sell on eBay.
Yep, I've heard it.
Yeah, that's it.
I should do that. I should do that as a video, like 10 myths about Mercari.
Right?
It's not true.
Please do.
All right.
Yeah, I see that, Leroy. There are a lot of that first start videos. Man, it's amazing to see something sitting out in the woods or sitting in a field, and somebody puts gas in it, turns the key, and it fires up. There's something cool about that. So I enjoy it too, Leroy.
That sounds like Hamiltonville Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Glock said that, there's literally billions of dollars in people's attics and closets and basements.
Literally. Yeah.
And I mean, I think of that same stuff. Like, I know what I source. I know how many. I've got a good idea that there's probably, even in this small place where I live, there's probably 20, 25 pretty substantial resellers in this area. Like, I see them in thrift stores scanning and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know how much they sell, but I'm like, I see that. So.
And you're still not getting it all. I mean, all of it's not getting bought.
No, man. I mean, you can't even begin to it's one of those things. There's ways to make it regardless. I mean, the obvious thing is if you're an Amazon seller, you're not going to give away your bread and butter. Like, you're not going to give away your replenishables. And I think most people understand that. Like, they get that, hey, I can't give you my replenishable because you're going to blow up the price. But then there are people on here that do say, hey, I'm going to share this replenishable with you. Don't blow up the price.
Yeah, that's right.
But, it's one of those things, man. I think it's good. Hey, Emily, good to see you. I was looking to see. I thought there was another question.
Oh, there she is.
Hey, Emily.
Hey, Emily. Well, how'd you see her so fast?
Yeah, his internet's quicker than ours, Sam.
Dang, dude. Yeah.
I had to upgrade, bro. I had to upgrade because
mine's on ice.
Out in the shed. One of those guys. One of those things. But, well, man, we appreciate you guys coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we were honored for the invite. It's always good to hang out with some really cool people. I've noticed the chat, and man, just loaded. We want to start doing lives. I know everyone was a little disappointed we stopped doing our Wednesday lives, so I think we're going to start doing them on Revstoration. It's hard because we've got a few car channels, and you don't want to step on people's toes. They already have it on this day, they have it. So I'm trying to figure all that out because I'm still the new cat over there, and I don't want to upset people by having a live on the same day they do. But look forward to some more Rev Resell Nikkit content coming out. We'll have some reselling stuff before long.
Rev, stop being polite and just let the people decide.
Yeah, I need to just bulldoze in and let people decide who to watch.
It's just the figment of people's minds. They made up the time they claim. Get out of here.
Yeah,
let the people decide. Yeah.
Yep, I was Dan. I was just getting to that too, man. Jimmy has started a show with Jeff, and obviously Dan is the guest host that comes in and does the trivia and stuff. So it's called Score. It's actually its own right now, but
cool.
We try to pitch to Jimmy, man. He's another one of our reseller buddies that has been here for a minute, and he actually talked to me. He's like, I want to start putting a show, and I told him, I said, man, feel free to come on after us. I'll pitch it right to you, man.
Cool.
So I'm trying to be respectful of his time as well, and obviously, you guys, like you said, you've got some stuff coming up, and if you're not subscribed to Revstoration, go in and hit that button, man, and watch some videos, drop some comments, some likes, and
yes, indeed.
That's always appreciated for sure. And Sam, you got anything? Final thoughts?
No, man, we appreciate you guys. It's been Eric and I reflect all the time. It's been awesome to see what could happen in a year. From the first time you guys were on our show. So we appreciate you guys as always.
Cool.
And can't wait to see what the rest of the year has in store for y'all.
Amen. Y'all too.
Yeah,
I was reflecting today. I was like, man, the last time you guys were on this show was when Sam had and Christina had Ezra.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, like, to think that's been a minute. So
like 9 months now.
We thank you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. You're telling me.
Wow.
Yeah.
He
Cool.
labs back and all that stuff now.
I know.
He's got his little teepees coming in right now.
Oh, wow.
He's so stinking cute, though. He is the
thanks.
cutest little thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, guys, I appreciate all you for being here in the chat, and we look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Go check out Score.
Yeah, check out Score. I'm not 100% that I'll have a Tuesday live this week because I may be traveling back from Florida. So
Cool.
if not, we will see you next Friday.
Love y'all, deuces.
Bye.
Appreciate it.